We ready? Are we ready to do this? 3, 2, 1, yo! What's going on, Arkansas Razorback fans? I switched it up on you. Glasses on the head. Yeah, there we go. Flamingo Friday. It's not over with, right? The season's here. Flamingo Friday doesn't just go away because the season's back. It's sticking around. That's what's happening. I hope you guys have had a wonderful week. Look, I said it on the podcast, on the Hog Talk podcast. By the way, you can download that bad boy. It's right down below. You can just go click it. Just go click the link down below. You can check that out. You can listen. But like I said there, it's been a crazy week here. Homeschooling is kicking my ass. I'll just tell you that up front. It's here! College football's back. I probably just blew your speakers out. That's okay. I'm just got all this exciting. Yeah, it's zoomed in. You like that? It's probably because you haven't been here in a little while. Who said that? My notepad's in the way. Kelly Marie said that. So we did an update here. I got a new cam, the software, OBS, everything's a little bit more optimized here, but it's zoomed way in, and I don't know. Just you're gonna have to get used to it, like I am, because I don't like it. I need to zoom it out, but I'm not really sure how. I'm not a techie. I'm not a software guy. I don't know. I could try to. There's my palm. Bro, Ty looking dapper. You damn right, baby. Let's go. Who cares about the looks? It's football season. That's what matters, right? Homeschool is not for the faint of heart. You are not kidding, Kelly. All right. I'm really excited. I'm stoked. Can't wait to get into this. I've been waiting to do this all year. I've gone back and forth on who's going to win the SEC. What do the Hogs do? At one point, at the lowest of the low, well, we'll get into that, what I thought at the time the Arkansas would do. I don't know how much further away from that I am from my original pick. It's a little bit. I'll let you judge. I've gone back and forth on who is winning this conference. Now, I had a really good discussion with a friend of mine, Tim, and he doesn't like taking credit, but I'm giving him credit. He had a really good idea about how to approach this the prediction stuff. And that's with, you know what? We don't know. Look, Arkansas, from what I understand, was the only program in all of the SEC that had any kind of media coverage whatsoever. So, no spring ball. Of course, I don't know that you take a whole lot away from spring ball anyways, but no spring ball, no media coverage. They're getting, again, at Arkansas, you got 15 minutes, I think is what they were giving the media in Fayetteville. So I don't know what the hell we're walking into in 2020. But we'll get to all that in just a second. So, for anyone that's new here, by the way, video dropped earlier today. It's the Razorback breakdown of the game of Georgia tomorrow. If you've already seen that, then you already know what my prediction is for that game. Stay tuned. I'm going to give you my whole season prediction. Not game by game. I'm not going to do that. That would take forever. But I'm going to give you a brief, here's who I like to win the conference, and here's what I think the Razorbacks do on the year. Again, not going game by game. I'm going to try not to. I know I say that all the time, then I start doing a little bit more research as we're doing the live stream, and then I change my mind midstream. It happens. It's a live stream. Just like one of my kids probably going to burst into this room here in a minute because she left her blanket in here. So I'm waiting on that any second for her to just come running in here. All right, let's get to the Razorback recruiting updates really quick. Not a lot, and again, with the dead period being extended all the way until January, so stupid. I went on a rant about that last week. I'm not going to do it again, but that's so incredibly stupid. But through January, through the end of December, it's an extended dead period. So I don't know if they're going to get rid of early signing period. I think they should. I think it ought to be permanently gone. It ought to get a perma ban. But it probably won't because the NCAA sucks. All right, 2022 three-star Texas pro-style quarterback Josh Hoover, 6'2", 205 pounds, was given a crystal ball projection by none other than Danny West from Hawk Sports, over there with Trey Biddy. Josh Hoover, pretty early in his recruiting. Again, that's a 2022 kid. And then another 2022 kid out of Texas, 3-star defensive end. Curly Thomas, 6'4", 240 pounds, was also given a crystal ball. This was 2 days ago. Again, both those players are out of the 2022 class. So, I call them 3 stars now. They may be a 2-star, a 4, or a 5-star, this time next year. Who knows? Let me read your chat really quick, or read your comments. Sean, what's up, Ty? Arkansas Razorback fans, we're back. Let's get the party started, by the way. You guys really enjoyed those post-game reactions last year? They're back. They're back. I'm so excited for those. I'm more excited for those than I am this live stream. Like, I am pumped for that. Those were so fun last year. We were just all letting it out together. We were just so raw. Like, oh, what the hell? We had a couple of games where the officiating was absolutely awful. We called it out right here. It happened here. And you guys were amazing. We will lose by a few touchdowns, but I just want to see improvement, says David Dixon. I think everyone just wants to see improvement. I agree. Hopefully tackling will be an issue for Georgia because of the lack of preparation. Well, we'll get into Georgia's defense in a minute. If you're expecting them to not be prepared, I think you're in for a shock, David. Thanks, Taylor, for the dapper comment. You see that awesome Mike Woods catch between the legs? I didn't see that. I did not. I didn't see that. Only 10 for Hogs. I don't know what you're talking about, Alex. You're going to have to get more specific, sir. What do you mean, only 10? I don't know what you're talking about. I think we win week 2, but don't have the horses for this one, says Fishman. What's up, Fish? Long time no see, brother. And by the way, if you guys have a conversation going back and forth, I'm going to read it as though you're talking to me because I'm going back and forth between reading my notepad, all the notes, and the script that I have kind of written out here. So I'll lose, my train of thought a little bit. I'll get off course just a little bit. Sometimes I'll completely forget what the hell y'all are talking about. So make sure you at the person you're talking to. If you could do that, if you've got a question for me, you know what I'm saying? You get that? Do you know what I am saying? No linebackers. Georgia will take advantage of that, says Arky56. What's up, Pops? How you doing, man? Omaha 1. Hey, Ty, it's T-Y. Not T-Y-E. I'm not Ty Richardson, okay? I'm the guy that could eat Ty Richardson. I could eat that skinny guy. By the way, he used to do those food or the food tweets, phone eats first tweets. And he's constantly eating. Pinto today uploaded a video of him eating. That dude eats like a 9-course meal for lunch and doesn't gain a pound. I look at a damn Snickers bar, I gain like 5 pounds. So, no, you meant the TYE skinny tie, not the TY fat tie. The officiating. I'm not ready for that, says Kelly. Your prediction for the game is what I meant. Okay, Alex. Yeah, I do have them. at 35-10. So you spoiled it. Thanks, Alex. All right, Ty. If you're Bryles, what's the first play call? Man, that's a good question, actually. I don't know. Arkansas hasn't won a home SEC game in 1,420 days, November 5th, 2016. Greg, you're just what a wet blanket, Greg. What are you doing, man? TYE is not as skinny as he once was. So I met him at a tailgate. We went to there was a church group holding a tailgate. I can't remember the parking lot. But he and I showed up, and he's a little fella. He's a little guy. Everyone's little to me, though. What's the best way to grow a small channel? Man, that's don't do sports. I'll tell you that. It's a pain in the ass to grow a sports channel. I'll just tell you that right now. First play, the first play of Arkansas is a quick slant over the middle. Doug Stubbs says first play, Boyd over the left tackle for 25 yards. Man, I don't know. Hopefully you have a crystal ball. That would be amazing. All right, let's get into this. Sam Pittman. This is what Sammy had to say yesterday about missing some players. I don't know if you guys caught this or not. Sam Pittman says, I feel good about our numbers, and yes, there will be some guys that won't be able to play. He also went on to say there are a few test results that are not back yet from Wednesday. These tests were supposed to be back for today. They're supposed to be back. We haven't heard anything, so I don't have anything else for you on that. But he did later go on to say, we're confident that we're ready to go. So they're going to be missing some guys. I don't know about Georgia. I have no idea. Again, their media exposure over there is worse than ours here. They're not coming out and talking about COVID numbers. They're just not. They've not given specific numbers. They're going to dance around that question, or they're just not going to answer it, or they're going to tell the media not to ask it because they're not going to get the answers. Been talking with some media people. I'm not going to name names. It's real. Like, you don't bring up the COVID stuff. Like, if you're expecting a number, you're not going to get it from the university. So we have no idea what the impact is going to be. That is a legitimate concern. I know it's like no one wants to discuss it because COVID-19 has taken over 2020, and I mean, it did. As soon as it hit, once it started spreading throughout the country, we knew right then and there, oh crap, this is going to take up a lot of our news. But at the beginning, we kind of thought it would go away, right? I did. I didn't think it would be around this long. It's taken up the news. I know we don't like talking about it, but it is a real part of athletics right now. So it's hit the team. There were rumors circulating a little while back that there were more than a couple of dozen, but those were rumors. Again, not like I said then. I'm not going to go into detail on some of that. What I was told, but expect some guys to be out for this game. I can't speak for Georgia, and everything I'm about to tell you too. By the way, when we're talking about Georgia, I don't know if all these guys are even going to be cleared. They may even. Well, I doubt they travel. I guess we'll find out if they travel tonight. We'll find out if who all's. According to their media, who's actually here, or we'll probably start. If we don't hear it tonight, we'll hear it tomorrow. So we'll have a pretty good idea, because if you're quarantining, obviously you're not traveling with the team. All right, Georgia, let's break them down. Todd Monken is their new offense coordinator, replacing a pretty average offense from a year ago. I broke this down on my video. Again, if you want a little bit more depth there, you could check that video out. But I'll graze over some of what I said there. They were a very average offense. I think they were like 60th in certain areas. Like their pass offense was pretty bland. I think Jake Fromm threw for 2,600 yards. I can't remember his touchdown to interception ratio. I want to say it was like 16-6 or 18-6. Not great numbers through the air. They weren't a threat through the air, really. They had some stars, and they do have some stars this year, by the way. They got a big physical receiver. I say physical. He's not really physical, but George Pickens, 6'3", 85, 190-pound receiver. Guy's going to be a problem. But a year ago, they were pretty average. I mean, I think they finished 6th in the SEC in total offense. When you consider the amount of talent they have, and I mean, good Lord, you look at their recruiting classes. I think they were the number one recruiting class like 2 years in a row. Was it 2018, 2019, depending on the recruiting site? They are stockpiled with talent. That's not really anything new. I get that. But I really think with Monken being added on, he was the offensive coordinator for Oklahoma State, I want to say 2011 through 2014 maybe. He was there for a little while, turned their offense around. A lot of people credit him. And then after he left, of course, Oklahoma State still was really good on offense. But Monken, who's had kind of he's traveled around a little bit, but he's the OC. They're going to spread it out. If they are fully invested in his offense, you're going to see probably four wide sets quite a bit. You're going to see a lot of spread offense. They're going to spread you out. They're going to get their playmakers out in open field. It's going to be probably if you know anyone, or if you ever watched Oklahoma State football back when he was there, they were damn good on offense. They were a typical Big 12 defense. They don't know how to spell defense in that conference, but on offense they were spectacular. And he did that, by the way, with not so great. Like, the star power wasn't really at Oklahoma State, still isn't. I continue to brag on what's happened over there. That program continues to be a pain in the neck for Oklahoma, despite their not so great recruiting. But he took over an offense. I mean, they had some playmakers. Don't get me wrong. They had some guys that would go on to the NFL, but Monken's really credited for that offensive turnaround. So he's their offensive coordinator. Again, expect them to spread this thing out. Dwan Mathis is expected to be their starter, 6'6", 205 pounds. If you go and look at his 247 recruiting profile, they compare him to Felipe Franks, which is ironic. Obviously, transferred from Florida to come here, and he's your quarterback now, and that's the guy that they compared him to out of high school. But 6'6", like 205, somewhere in there. Pretty athletic for his size, can move out of the pocket, pretty good arm. I don't have a ton of information on him. I know he was I think he was a 4-star out of high school. He's technically a redshirt freshman. So you have a little bit of an advantage there where you're going to have a freshman walking into Fayetteville. The difference there is it doesn't really matter. Does it matter? You're going to have 17,000 fans. What kind of a distraction is that to a player? I'm not sure. Hopefully they're loud. Hopefully 17,000 people can sound like 30. I don't know. But or 40 or 50,000. It'd be great. But it's going to be tough. It's a little bit more spread out in that stadium than it is compared to like maybe a Little Rock where you're a little bit closer down to the field. But, yeah, so Dwan Mathis, again, 6'6", 205, good arm or good strong arm from what I've seen and is pretty athletic out of the pocket. A guy that you need to keep an eye on, too, other than George Pickens, is Zamir White. 5-star running back, 6 foot, 215 pounds. He ran the ball 78 times last year for 408 yards, putting him at about 5.2 yards per carry. But what he did that was dangerous was he went on the road against was it on the road? I can't remember. But he ran the ball, I think it was 13 times against LSU and looked really good. No. I'm sorry. I've got that stat mixed up. I'm looking at another profile here. But him and there we go. Pull it up. Him and James Cook, Zamir White and James Cook, both highly rated out of high school. James Cook is an interesting story because he's really the older running back, and according to the two Georgia fans that I barely know, I had a conversation with them in Twitter DMs. They said that the hype was all around Zamir, or was behind James Cook, even though he was. When you look at the star power behind the two, Cook was a little bit underrated, but he was still a 4-star. To them, that's an underrating, right? But he averaged 6.1 yards per carry last year, and I think he scored a couple times. But Cook and White could be a pretty dynamic duo if they can both stay healthy, and assuming they're both going to be there, assuming you're going to have both Cook and White. But Zamir White is someone to keep an eye on. He was highly recruited out of high school. Again, 6 foot, 215 pounds. 78 carries, 408 yards, 5.2 yards per carry, and he scored 3 times a year ago. George Pickens is the guy that if Mathis on offense finds a groove, George Pickens is going to become an immediate problem. Not only with Georgia's going to spread you out. Pickens, they're going to look for that one-on-one matchup with Pickens versus whatever Arkansas defensive back. And looking at their depth chart, I don't know what to think of the depth chart just yet for Arkansas when you look at the defensive backs. This could be a problem. Again, if Dwan Mathis is half the quarterback Georgia Bulldogs claim that he is, according to their people on Twitter and what little media information I could get on him, if he's half the quarterback they think he can be, it's going to be an issue. George Pickens is he's a monster. I think he's a potential star. I'm not going to go out and say he's the next A.J. Green at Georgia, but he's going to be. He's dangerous. I think Pickens is very dangerous. So when you combine the two running backs, Zamir White and James Cook, with Pickens, their skill position, they're set. They've got it. Having said that, last year they had it too. They had talent. When you talk about the personnel on offense that they had in 2019. They still were a pretty average offense. And then you're also trying to break in this new offense with everything that happened with this, I've said it 100 times, with this very unorthodox offseason that we've had. You're trying to rush in that offense, and your installation is actually happening during your fall camp. Your offensive installation it's happening now. He wasn't hired in. Well, I mean, it wouldn't have mattered, but if he were hired in before spring, he could have had that entire spring camp to start to get that offense implemented a little bit more, but you're having to wait until fall. And I know the Razorbacks are dealing with that. Mizzou's dealing with that. Ole Miss, Mississippi State, you got a lot of programs in the SEC, so that excuse only goes so far. But I don't know. It's going to be a tough game. When you switch over to the defense, okay, They gave up less than or right around 13 points a game. And 2 rushing touchdowns all of last year. Their front seven, this is this is as good as it gets on defense. They were top 3 in every defensive category outside of their secondary. Their secondary ranked, I think, right around 31st. They're good. Guys, their secondary is absolutely, or their front 7 is absolutely ridiculous, and their secondary is chock full of talent. Again, when you've had the kind of recruiting that they've had, and it's nothing new. Georgia's always recruited really well, but now they're recruiting at an ultra-high level. 4 stars get overlooked at that program, and that's just the way it is. And it's kind of the way it is at all the blue collars in the SEC. But with Georgia, it's like everything's clicking. If Monken comes in on offense and they're all on the same page and that offense is installed, let's say they have – I hate talking about the amount of offense installed because it kind of gives me a little bit of, the flashbacks from Chad Morris. But if you have even just like 75% of that offense installed and they're all on the same page, they're all coachable and they're all ready to go, pads on, chin guards strapped up, and they've got the mouthpiece in, and they're in the zone. Georgia's going to be an issue on offense, but they're so damn good on defense. This is going to be the toughest defense Arkansas is going to play all year. Depending on what Alabama does, you always have to put kind of an asterisk right there, right? Alabama could be – it's Alabama. It's Nick Saban. Like there's always that possibility, right? LSU has, they're DBU after all. Who knows how they're going to look on the defensive side of the ball, despite the fact they had this mass exodus of players and coaching staff and guys holding out. I think they're still at 4 projected starters for 2020 that aren't going to play. That's crazy. LSU is in trouble. But Georgia's not. Georgia is clearly in the driver's seat, I think, in the SEC East. I think they win the East. I don't have them winning the SEC, though. As strapped as they are on defense, I don't think they win it all because the questions on offense, there's a lot. Look, they've only got 2 returning starters on the offensive line. Yeah, they're bringing in 4 and 5 stars. I get that. But we've seen that at other programs where that's the case, and they still struggle. Star power isn't everything. Once you hit the field, once you're the guy on the depth chart, things start to change. The lights come on. If you're playing a PM game, this isn't the case, but you get what I'm saying. When it's go time, and so the star power goes out the freaking window. So I don't know. With 2 starters, Sam Pittman's gone. You got a new coordinator, new offensive line coach. There's a lot of newness up there, up front. That's why I don't like them to win it all. Again, the quarterback situation. We don't know enough about Mathis. I do like, again, White and Cook on offense. I think are going to be dangerous. I really do. But again, on defense, they're returning 9 starters, 9 to roughly, I think right around 9 to 11 guys. Majority of their defense, even their backups at some point rotated on defense a year ago. They're just good. I know they lost to South Carolina. That is the head scratcher. Like I said, I think I said this on the Hog Talk. I can't remember. It's the SEC. It's really all I could tell you. Georgia and South Carolina. It was just a crazy outcome, right? I think they lost 20-17. But I don't know if that happens this year. I really think Georgia is probably like a 9-1. At their worst, I think they're 8-2. Oh, God, again, who knows? With this COVID-19 and the quarantining and the players missing and oh my gosh, it's like you almost have to hold a gun to my head to get what do you really think, Ty? I don't know. Even with a gun to my head, I don't know. But I do like Georgia to win the East. Florida is going to be competitive. I'll tell you who's going to be behind those 2, and I don't think they're that far. It's Tennessee. I don't think Tennessee's that far behind. I really don't. They have a lot of experience back. I forgot how many starters. I had that written down somewhere, but they're returning quite a few starters. They went on that hellacious win streak a year ago. I know it was against Cupcakes, but I feel like they're going to carry that momentum into 2020, assuming Corona didn't interrupt. Right? Assuming they weren't that all that vibe and that carryover from a year ago. If it's still in the room, Tennessee's, I think they're going to be good. I think they are a 7-3 potential team. I really think that. I think they're 7-3. I don't know. I don't know. 8-2 might be a little bit too. I won't say 8-2, but I think they're somewhere around 6 to 7 wins. I think that's where I like them. 6-4. When you're playing a 10-game conference only schedule. 6-4 is nothing to be ashamed of. So, how many SEC games did they win a year ago? That's really what we're looking at here, right? Yeah, so defensively, you're talking about the best defense I think Arkansas will play all year. Because of that, I like Georgia 35-10. I hope I'm wrong. The spread originally when we recorded Wednesday night was, I think, 25.5. Now it's up to, was it 20? Is it 28 now is the spread? I didn't look before I went live. I was too hyped up. I'm too jacked up. I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew, Chip. I'm so excited, though, guys. I'm not even going to lie about it. This is like Christmas. For any content creator that covers college athletics or college football, this is Christmas. And we didn't think we were going to have Christmas. Now we have it. It's great. All right. I'm way behind on chat. Let's see. Wow. Hey, y'all, don't forget to like and share. Thanks, Kelly. I appreciate that. I don't know why it threw that into yeah, and some of your messages are getting retracted. Sorry about that. We're covering that freaking spread, says Robert Ainsworth. I hope. Try to scroll down here. I'm sorry. I can't answer everybody's questions here. Again, if you have any direct questions, be sure to throw that at me, the @ symbol. For you older generation that don't like typing, it's shift and the 2 key. Sorry, I had to look at my. Well, I guess not all keyboards are the same, though, are they? I don't think they're all. Are they all shift 2? I've never. I don't know. Rakeem said those 17,000 better be loud, or they're gonna find a new 17,000. I didn't see that. That's funny. Scrolling down here, let me get caught up. Kelly Marie, don't forget to like and share. Watch out, Richard LeConte is our best defensive player. I'm telling you, I'm so impressed with what Georgia has on defense. If I'm a Georgia fan, I'm concerned about what's going on the offensive side of the ball. New offense, new quarterback, 2 returning starters on the offensive line. You do have a badass wide receiver, but I am concerned about what's going on at quarterback. And I know this is, it's not possible. But if Fromm were back this year, I'd probably feel a lot more comfortable about picking them. Hey, Ty, what's up, Tony Brown? How you doing? I'm tired of let's see, getting shafted. The schedule line. Our boys will learn a lot from losing to Georgia than they would beating Vandy. Got to look for the positive that we have real stuff. And that is a good point. You're playing the best. You're playing the best that the SEC East has to offer, and you're playing the best defense that the SEC has to offer. You're going to learn a hell of a lot more about yourself playing them than you would of Vanderbilt or even an Ole Miss right now. I'm here to call it now. We almost beat Georgia, says Tony Brown. Let's see. Keep an eye on Darnell Washington, freshman tight end. Yeah, and you guys have a transfer tight end too, right? Who's also supposed to be pretty good. I think he's projected as your starter on your 2 deep. I don't care about this game. I just want to throttle LSU. I'm late. Happy Flamingo Friday. Nice shades, Ty. Thank you. Respect the drip. Respect the drip. That's what the kids say. Kentucky lost Smoke and Bowden. I'm not expecting much. Let's see. Boop, boop, boop. Georgia and Bama. I don't 55-13. Yeah, 28 spread. Yeah, 28-point spread. Joshua, don't think so. YouTube doesn't like me. Are you getting messages retracted? But anything can happen. Okay, let's focus on really quick who I think wins the SEC. Again, if you guys, if maybe you're coming in late, you don't want to have to rewind, the last 15 minutes of me talking about this matchup. Again, I do like Georgia 35-10. Arkansas's got to show me something. Well, everybody does, right? Week 1 for the SEC, everybody's got to show me something. But Arkansas's got to show me something before I start giving you confidence points, right? 34-21. Georgia still gives 2 touchdowns win. It's still in the area of close, says Tony Brown. The only problem I have is that I don't think anyone's sneaking up on Kirby Smart week 1. 21, I don't think is absolutely out of the out of the picture completely. You do have Felipe Franks, who's experienced. Kendall Briles, who I think really is capable of being one of the top play callers in the SEC. There's some potential there on offense, and there's some potential for Arkansas to get 21 points. Tie? Question mark? What? Uh-oh. No, I'm all green on my side. Anyone else lose tie? I'm showing green. Uh-oh. You might have some internet issues, or it could be me. I don't know. Franks was awful against Georgia at Florida. He was, but the point is you're on a different roster with a different play caller. Anything could happen. He could get some junk points in the fourth. Georgia gets a big lead and maybe lets up a little bit. You're still up for me. Yeah, Alex, think you're having some issues, man. Might want to get closer to your Wi-Fi. That's what I have to do. The further away I get from this room, because this is where the router and the modem, the two-for-one combo box I have here, the further I get away from it, the worse the signal gets on my phone. 42-17 dogs, says Kelly Murray. Damn. Look, this is a defense that only gave up like 12 points, 13 points a game. I don't know. I really hope Sam Pittman does well, though. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see. What a year, though, for him, right? That's crap. No picture or sound for me. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I don't know what's going on, Alex. We'll cry if Chad Morris beats us. All right, let's get on to the hot takes part of this Friday show. Franks is going to turn into Joe Burrow. I know you're clowning, Greg. I know you're clowning, my man. 51-10. Oh, my God. I love it, though. Oh, man. You can tell Pittman wants to be here. That's what's important. Well, it is nice to have a coach like, the last guy that I remember, they all act like they want to be here when they sign the dotted line. But the guy that we all knew wanted the job, got the job, ended up for his 10 years not being as bad as we thought he was when he left. That's Houston Nutt. He wanted the job. That guy had charisma like we'd never seen before, though. Greg, pass the pipe. Okay, who wins the SEC West and why? You guys ready for this? I'm taking Auburn. Oh, God. Put up my Dukes. Oh, are they coming? You're going to throw pies at me? Look, there's one thing that I do know about Auburn. Well, other than the fact that Gus Malzahn's their head coach. I like what they have coming back. I liked it on defense. You're talking about the 17th overall scoring defense. I think they're returning roughly about 4 to 5 starters on defense. I think there's more there, and I really, at the end of the day, Chad Morris was a good offensive coordinator at Clemson. A lot of this, too, stems from the fact that there's been a little bit of turnover with Auburn, but not as much as some other teams, especially in the West. I'm not buying into the A&M hype. I'm not buying into Kellen Mond. I don't know what I really like Chad Morris as an offensive coordinator. Please don't hurl pies at my face. Horrible coach, was in over his head as a head coach at the University of Arkansas. Has no business being a head coach. Go back and look what he did at Clemson in just 1 year. They averaged 23 points a game. 23 points a game in 2010. 2011, he takes a job, almost 34 points a game. And now you may think, well, big deal. That's per game. That's, about a 10, 11-point difference per game. Their offensive production, way higher. Their third down conversion percentage, way higher. He's taken over an offense that has some studs at running back. They have some studs at wideout. They've recruited top 8, top 10 in the country now for the last few years. If Gus Malzahn hands over the keys, I'm not looking at comments yet. I'm waiting for the comments. I've got my notepad in front of comments. I can't wait to read these. I'm going to get burned. And look, a lot of this is because it's not just a hot take. I just like what they have. Here's something else that they have. So not only are you returning about 4 or 5 starters on defense, which is, it's not great, but it's not terrible. Again, 17th in the country in points allowed, and that's in the SEC West, giving up only 19 points a game. They had the 17th overall rush defense from a year ago. I think Bo Nix takes a decent leap from his freshman to sophomore year. And I'll tell you what else, I really like DJ Williams. He was their backup a year ago behind Whitlow. His best game, this was where I got mixed up on my numbers a minute ago. I had my stuff cropped and pasted incorrectly. He rushed 13 times for 130 yards against the LSU Tigers. Very few backs were that productive against LSU with that amount of carries. I think they have some weapons on offense. They've got Seth Williams, who's a stud wide receiver, 59 grabs through the air, 830 yards with a freshman throwing him the ball. He scored 8 times a year ago. And I do think Chad Morris is a legit Power 5 SEC offensive coordinator. Horrible head coach. I think he's a difference maker of a offensive coordinator. If Gus Malzahn hands the keys completely over, that's my pick. I don't want to read chat. All right. What? Oh, okay. That Kool-Aid has a lot of vodka in it. Let's see. You can tell Pittman. Oh, already read that. I'm going to scroll down here. That Kool-Aid has a... What Kool-Aid? You talking to me? I don't have Kool-Aid. I think Chad Morris was terrible as a head coach. There's the tomato emojis. Boo. We threw tomatoes. Pies are too expensive. Okay. Yo, Ty. What's up, TTV? Your boy Judd. What's going on, man? I don't know about this, Ty. Yikes. Laugh out loud. Okay, well, hear me out. Kellen Mond is overhyped, put up average numbers. Jimbo Fisher looks like he's about on his way out. So is Gus. I get that. But Jimbo, when you consider the amount of money that they paid for that guy, I don't see them being any kind of a threat when last year Auburn managed to win 9 games. I just think Chad Morris is kind of the difference maker of an offensive coordinator for them. I think he's that factor. I think he's a legitimate offensive coordinator. You can't look at what he did, or you can't overlook what he did at Clemson. You can't do that. It's the reason that what he did at Clemson as an OC is ultimately why he got the job as a head coach at an SEC program. So obviously the Razorbacks looked into that. They sure as hell didn't look at what he did as a head coach at SMU. I mean, come on, the guy didn't do anything until his 3rd year at SMU. They thought they were getting offensive coordinator Chad Morris. They didn't get that. They got a clown because that's what he was as a head coach. I think, and I said this on the Hog Talk, some people are meant to be coordinators and some people are meant to be coaches. And he's not meant to be a coach. I think he's an OC. Look, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It is what it is. That's where I'm going. I like Auburn. I like Auburn to win the SEC West. I think Bama finishes second. A close second. I think it's probably going to be a 9-1 kind of year for them. Maybe losing the Iron Bowl. That's it. I'm officially unsubbing. Oh no. Auburn plays Georgia, LSU, and Bama. No way. It's the SEC. I mean, name a year where they don't play a tough schedule. I throw up a little every time you say that his name. All I hear is Full Tilt Boogie. I love it. Let's see. Didn't we do this last year with Chad here? Well, I don't think we said he was going to win at that level, and he was a head coach. Let's see. Currently deleting this Discord app. I'm not the only one that thinks that, by the way. But I'll take Auburn. I'll take Auburn to win the SEC West. The East, obviously, I'm going to take Georgia. Florida's going to be better. Dan Mullins is I think they're going to be better than a year ago. I don't know how much. But I like them. I like them at second. Florida behind Georgia. And then Tennessee at third in the SEC East. Obviously, everyone else, who cares? South Carolina, look, they got that win over Georgia. By the way, South Carolina beat Georgia a year ago, Joshua Simmons. What does that say about them? Right? Like, Georgia is beatable. Georgia is absolutely beatable. I mean, hell, anyone's beatable. You play the game on the field. But Auburn, Gus Malzahn's coached in big games. So is Chad when he was OC at Clemson. They've coached in big games. Chad as a head coach was as lost as the bastard on Father's Day. Oh, my God. I hope there are none of those in chat. Oh, my God. That's terrible. Oh, man. Ty, you was my boy, but you pick Auburn. Come on, man. Give the Hogs some credit. What? You thought the Razorbacks were going to compete in the SEC West? Not a chance. Okay. The Razorbacks, I've got them at 2-8 on the year. there's just too much newness, too many question marks. Defense, guys, I could go over. It'd take me all day to really just break down everything wrong with Arkansas. So many questions. Offensive line, it's going to be the best it's been. It's going to be the best that it's been, I think, in the last 4 years. I do think that. I don't know. I don't know what to think of Felipe Franks as far as like what kind of production we're going to see out of him as a quarterback. But there's no doubt the talent. You feel like the proven talent is on the offensive side of the ball. Felipe Franks he's going to have targets around it. Rakeem Boyd, we're going to see some backups. We're finally going to see some more running backs. I think this year. I think it's going to be a Boyd heavy season as it should be. But I think you're also going to have a little bit of a running back by committee. I think you're going to have a couple of different guys touch the ball every game. Again, offensive line is going to be your bright. It's going to be the bright spot compared to what it's been the last few years. But your true, like your actual, what I meant to say, your bright spot's going to be your skill position guys: Trey Knox, Treylon Burks. I think Woods is going to have a good year. They're going to be so concerned about Burks and Trey Knox that they're probably going to ignore everyone else because those are your two stars, and of course Rakeem Boyd at running back. But there's still unproven talent behind those guys. But I think on offense, if they're all, again, on the same page, I think you could have a pretty productive year on the offensive side of the ball. I'm not telling you they're going to go out and put up Bobby Petrino type numbers on offense. But I think again, if they're on the same page, they could find a way to sneak out a couple of wins this year. 2-8 is, I think, being pretty freaking gracious, really, when you consider that the last 2 years you've won a grand total of 0 conference games in the last 2 years. You've won 0. 2-8 is nothing. That's massive improvement. Massive improvement compared to the last 2 years. And I think they can do it. I really do. In fact, I think it's possible they can win more than 2. But that's where I'm at. I'm at 2-8. Defense. Line of scrimmage is terrible. Now let me rephrase let me be clear, okay? Offensive line is going to be the best that it's been in probably 4 years. That's not saying that Felipe Franks is going to have 5 seconds to throw the football. That's saying it's going to be better than what it's been. On defense, I think it's going to be more the same for the most part. We're going to see some incremental improvements in certain areas, but I'm concerned about the front seven. I'm concerned about the durability of some of these players on the front seven. What is going on at linebacker? Bumper pull cannot be your only contributor at linebacker. Now, they're going to run what sounds like to me it's going to be a 4-2-5 defense. There's just so many concerns with the linebackers, and I've still got concerns with the secondary, although I kind of like some of the stuff that I've heard about Monteric Brown and Joseph Fouché. I think he's an all-conference caliber safety. I do. But there's a lot of newness, right, with the entire staff, obviously, coaching change and everything. You're going to have, Coach is going to be your starter. He's a former JUCO guy. I can't wait to see what he does this year, by the way. I'm really excited for Julius Coates. Guy looks like Tarzan. Let's see if he plays like Tarzan. But there's a lot of newness and a lot of question marks, and their defense is just thank God you have Odom as your DC. Thank God you have Odom as your defensive coordinator. He is the perfect guy for the job. This year it's going to suck. This year on defense it's going to be terrible. Beyond this, I think you're going to start to see the improvement. I think you're going to start to see some better productivity out of the players from 2021 moving forward. And I think they're going to be – I guess the real question is, can they be better than what they were last year? I think last year they gave up, north of 200 yards a game on the ground. I don't think that happens this year. I think their run defense will be improved, but the only reason why I think that is because of your staff. You actually have a confident staff. You don't have John Chavis, come on. Why did the guy take the job? To buy some land down in Central Arkansas. I don't know why that guy came here. He never acted like he wanted to be here, and his guys on defense never looked prepared. They always looked lost, out of position. They were awful. You saw it every game. I think that's gone. I really do. With Odom as your DC, I'm telling you, he's the perfect guy for the job. We're just going to have to deal with this year. It's going to be tough. But I think from maybe towards the end of the year, we'll start to see some progress, assuming they finish the year. But at the end of the season, maybe we'll see that progress, and I think that leaps into 2021. Then we'll see things really start to change. Year one, with all the unseen, with all the BS that happened during the offseason, with quarantining and dealing with COVID and trying to adjust to COVID, not having spring camp, it's a massive disadvantage, especially with all the programs that have all this coaching turnover and that are basically starting from scratch. That's what's happened at Arkansas. On top of the fact, let's be honest, we have to call a spade a spade. Talent-wise, other than the guys on offense, on defense, they probably are the bottom of the barrel in the SEC. Well, there's no probably about it. They are. I need to quit saying probably. They are the bottom three in total talent on defense as far as what we could see on paper and based on what we've seen the last couple of years. Hopefully, they get it all adjusted this year. Hopefully, this year they get things on track. I think the run defense, I'm not saying they're going to be elite. I'm not even saying they're going to be great. I'm not saying they're going to be good. They're going to be better than what they were the last couple of years. And we're not going to know that until after Game 10. Now, it's hard to compare because you're only playing 10 games, but at the same time, you're playing a conference-only schedule, so God only knows. Yeah. If Georgia beats Alabama, I will cut off my – oh, Lord. Don't do that, Josh. You're going to need that later. Fouché gave up too many plays last year. See, this is what people say, but Alex – if you go back and watch a full game, other than a couple of mistakes that he made in the game, he gets bragged on quite a bit. I think Fouché is a potential all-conference caliber safety. He made mistakes, but my God, so did half the defense. So did the entire coaching staff. That staff is gone. You've got I believe, a much more competent coaching staff. And again, I think Fouché, with proper coaching, with better – with guys that are on the same page on defense because of the leadership from Odom, you're going to see far better production out of the defense. What's up, Ty? Tuning in from work break. What's up, man? How you doing? How's it going? Okay. Mason Jones, how are y'all on? Wait, what? Mason Jones is the man that your backdrop looks like my college dorm room. Yeah, well, it was either that or puke green paint, so I put up a bunch of posters. Hope you like that, Captain Mike. Ty, if Hogs win 4 off the beard, oh, you're telling me to chop the beard off. You guys are obsessed with me cutting this beard off. It's not going to happen. 5 or more, the head comes clean. Not going to happen. Alex says, I agree. It wasn't mistakes. It was the attitude to me. He gave up game 2. I don't know. You say that, and I watched him the last several games, and I saw him running after guys after the play looked like it was over. I saw him hustle. He made mistakes, and I agree with that, Alex. I don't disagree. He made mistakes. I think everyone struggled with attitude on both sides of the ball. Nobody was bought in. You might as well have been on the death penalty for the last 2 years. You're basically starting over from not having football for the last 2 years. That's the way I look at it. So you're trying to recover from that. And that also goes for not just off the field attitudes, what's going on in practice, what's going on in the weight room, in the locker room. That also translates to on the field. And I think it's going to be the best that it's been. I just based on interviews, what the media, what little bit they've seen based on what they're telling us, what I'm reading, I think their attitudes are going to be far better, and I think they're going to be bought in. And hell, we know everyone likes playing for Sam Pittman. I really enjoy your show. What time are you going live tomorrow? After the game. Hopefully, so tomorrow it might be like 5 minutes after the game. I will be next door, literally right next door, cooking some chicken wings with my neighbor. A different Alex. I don't think he's in here, but he's my neighbor. He's in our Discord, too, by the way. He's Crixus. I'm sure he wanted me to tell you guys that he's my neighbor, but we're going to cook tomorrow. And then we're going to try and do a halftime show on the Hog Talk pod on Facebook. So if you want to go see that, I'm going to try my best to go live for the halftime show for that. But then the post game, give me a few minutes as soon as the game's over. I'll be in here. If it's a blowout, I'll probably be I don't know. I might be drunk by the time. I might be drunk anyways. I don't know. No promises. Ty, stop bashing the Hogs, man. You're ruining the mood for us for Saturday. Well, a chance. I mean, look, man, it's. I'm a realist, my man. That's just what it is. I'm a realist. I'm telling you, though, I think Arkansas, attitude-wise, is going to be better. I think they're going to be bought in. That's the good news. Bad news is you're just lacking talent on defense. There's some questions about depth on both sides of the ball, especially at linebacker. Those are the facts, my man. That's all I can tell you. UTSA is on at 7 p.m. on CBS. Y'all going to watch IMG Academy tonight on ESPNU? Man, if I have time, I'd love to catch that, to be honest. See, I hear that we didn't hate him when he left us. We've just dealt with some douchebag. If we cover the spread all year, I'll be happy. Man, that's the attitude to have. I mean, it really is. Thank you, Alex. I agree. Alex Strecker. We've got like 3 Alexes. Alex Henderson says, watching UTSA versus Middle Tennessee State tonight, CBS. Yeah, that is tonight. It's like soon, isn't it? Isn't it soon? Around the corner. Yeah, Arkansas Central Time. Yeah, we are Central Time. That is correct. Joshua Simmons. Okay, all right, so recap. Arkansas, I like to, well, I did have them covering the spread, but don't any longer. 35-10 is my prediction, but the spread's been moved up to 28 points, so I'm not sure now. I bet Coach Pitt will be putting up with I bet Coach Pitt won't be putting up with cheerleader flirting. That was Fouché, wasn't it? Wasn't that Fouché? Oh, man. 19-year-olds will be 19-year-olds, you know. I do remember that, and that I guarantee you that won't be tolerated. I just feel like it won't be tolerated. I forgot all about that. All right, so, again, 35-10 Georgia. Arkansas on the year 2-8. And I didn't tell you all who I think they would beat. Mizzou and Ole Miss were my picks, is who I think Arkansas beats. Mizzou and Ole Miss. I'm sure you guys will hurl more tomatoes at me if I'm wrong on those picks. But it was Curl. Was it Curl? I thought it was Fouché. Oh man. Okay, it was K. Rich and Curl. Okay, well Arkansas will make a bowl game this year at tie. No, they won't. If 5-5 is if that's how you go bowling this year, no, I don't think so. And all this. Look. Feel free to bookmark this video. I don't care, but all this is it's all just God only knows. I mean, we have to factor in quarantining and COVID and all that crap. It's just part of it. It's part of life right now until we, until it goes away. But wouldn't it be wild, though? I think it'd be awesome if the year just completely flipped. Like Vanderbilt competes in the SEC East. Arkansas finds a way to get to 7 or 8 wins. It'd be great. I read where every team is eligible. Oh, Lord. Well, if that is the case, then yes, they are going bowling. Should that be the case? I don't know, because what's going on with the ACC? The ACC, I guess they're going to try and make their way back in. We know the Big Ten is coming back. I don't know. I bet the game tomorrow will be much closer than expected. I hope you're right, Mike. Listen, that's the takeaway. Beat the spread. Try to keep it respectable for a little bit. Keep it close. Look good while doing it. Look good while losing. I mean, that's moral victories. I know we hate hearing that, but we're at the beginning of a rebuild. It is what it is, right? I think the future is bright as far as potential for the Razorbacks. I don't know about this, this year. Who knows? But beyond this, I think things are only going to get better because they certainly can't get any worse. So Alex says 24-13. Okay, that's it. I will see you guys tomorrow. Post-game reaction. I'm looking forward to it. Woo Pig Suey. You guys be safe until then. All right. Woo Pig. See you tomorrow.